So let's see. All right, here we are. So I am loving looking around and seeing these beautiful faces joining. And I just want to welcome you to the Big Leap Bridge call. My name is Michele Vasuda, if you don't know me. And I'm the program director for the Foundation for Conscious Living's Big Leap Home online programs. And these programs support individuals, organizations, and communities in generating agency, connection, and creativity on our shared planet. And what these classes are how we do that. It's the how, it's the where we show up and play. So I can't think of a better way to create connection and creativity than to play with Audrey Hazekamp. So I'm not gonna throw the call over to you just yet. I just want to do a little bit of logistics. So we have a network where we all meet, and it's called the Big Leap Home Network. And it's a Mighty Networks. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the Mighty Networks is what I love about the Mighty Networks is it's not social media. There's no ads. There's no stuff coming through the feed that you might not want to see. It's just Hendrix all the way. And so if you would like to join our network, there's no cost to join, and you'll receive all of the links to our latest classes and resources. There's all kinds of cool stuff. And one of the best things is that people like Audrey show up on there. You can ask questions. Katie Hendricks shows up on there. And if you talk about how you're using these tools in your life, Katie loves to play with people and talk about that. So it's a great way to create connection there. So, all right. So I'm just going to say something read something to you all and see how it feels. Invite you actually to notice as you're hearing this, what it feels like in your body. So we find that learning works best when we choose to bring curiosity, openness, and appreciation of ourselves and others into the space. So we invite you into this commitment. So during the call, if you have questions, feel free to put those in the chat. Please put 3 question marks before your question so it jumps out at me, and I will let Audrey know. And at the last 10 minutes of the call, Audrey will open that up for questions as well. So, but just so that you can get them off your mind and onto outside of your head, I should say, go ahead and put them in the chat if you want to, or write them down. All right, well, now I have the great pleasure of appreciating Audrey. And I was just chatting with her before we came on the call. And I was telling Audrey how I was quoting her this morning when I was talking to somebody on the phone. And that happens often. Audrey is one of the first Hendrix coaches that I connected with and could see right away that this was a magical person that I wanted to learn from. And so, Audrey, I just appreciate you so much. Your levity, your joy, and your, of course, curiosity for life. I so appreciate your great integrity around all of that. So I'm going to turn the call over to you, and I'm excited to see what we're going to play with tonight.
Thank you. It just like tickles me when I think of someone quoting me. Really? I said something that someone's quotable. That's quotable. It's fun for me to hear. Thanks for sharing that with me. Oh, well, we had a very funny experience just getting on the call today, because I happen to be traveling right now, and I knew that I was going to be traveling, but between time zones and everything else, like I was ready at noon my time, and Michelle's like, no, it's not at noon, which had been 9 o'clock, California time. So I'm actually finishing my day with all of you. It's like 9 o'clock where I am right now. So what a wonderful way, no pun intended, to complete my day, which has actually been pretty lovely. So thank you all for being here and for getting interested in something that I feel really pretty passionate about, relative to both shifting my own inner experience, which my own inner well-being, my own nervous system, but also supporting the realm of possibility and rippling that out to the greater, the greater world. So really appreciate you being here. And my intention tonight is to provide not only some great information, but also to provide a few experiences, so that we're not just talking about something, but you actually get to have a feeling experience of what wonder can do relative to supporting your overall well-being. So I want to invite you all into the wonder space. I'm trying to figure out how I want to look at everybody. So it's like too much information when I can see everybody moving around all at one time. So let's see. Okay, that'll work. All right. So let me just say a few words about what I like to think of as the art and science of wonder. And I'll start that out a little bit with giving you some information about me. So I was a remarkably curious young human, as some of you might imagine. So I was always trying to figure out what was going on, trying to figure out new possibilities for things, asking a lot of questions, annoying all of the adults around me with lots of questions. So that sense of wonder, that sense of curiosity of what else is possible, I have a strong philosophy is an aspect of each of us in the wholeness of ourselves. So integrity, integrity is actually defined as wholeness. When you break it down into the Latin chunks of it, and wholeness to me is an unbroken completeness within myself with nothing extra and nothing missing. And one of the essential skills that I think we all come in with in the wholeness of ourselves, so in the integrity of ourselves, is that rich sense of wonder. You don't see any new babies coming into the world saying, I'm right. I know that already. They come in with this kind of like, what's going on and what's possible? And I wonder if I can fly off of this countertop, or I wonder if this umbrella works like it does in the movies to like float off of a tree, or, so we all come in with a sense of discovery, a sense of wonder. And then somewhere along the line, that essential aspect of ourselves, that essential, it's a skill. I think we're all masters at wonder coming in, but that essential beingness of ourselves gets disrupted somewhere along the line. And we start to believe that knowing the answers has a higher value than asking the questions. And I want to totally screw with that tonight. I'm going to completely mess around with that one. Because I think that if one of the things we want to do is support our own well-being, our own nervous system, our own sense of possibility, and our own sense of growth and change, we need to start asking questions, not finding answers. Because if we would have been able to figure out the solution to stuff going on right now, if we would have been able to have the answers, we would have already done it. And some of the things maybe are already out there, but the question might be, how does this want to be applied? So I want to be encouraging tonight this feeling sense of wonder. I was telling Michele earlier of going into my coaching sessions and even into workshops and stuff. I say I go in stupid, which doesn't mean that I'm actually stupid. I'm kind of the opposite of stupid, but to go in with a sense of, I wonder what wants to happen. I wonder what's going on here. And rather than assuming like I need to have an agenda or have the answers to something, I go in with a much more of a discovery mindset, which is to me that space of wonder. Now, I want you to sit back in your chairs or wherever you are right now, and I want you to just tune in, because this is one of my favorite wonder questions, and it actually is in the integrity deck, which is part of this particular series. And I want you to be asked, I'm not going to probably ask it exactly as it is in the deck, but take a couple of breaths and begin to bring a little bit of movement in your body, because which is not just like like actually move yourself, let yourself move, and take a few breaths. And I want you to that sound, I'm going to give you more information about that, but the and just let yourself feel the quality of your experience when you bring in that sound. I love that some of you are already immediately standing up. Excellent. And like, I wonder right now, I'm wondering for you, would you be willing to grow a nervous system that is designed for having a really good time for longer and longer periods of time? Would you be willing to grow a nervous system that is designed for enjoying a really good time for longer and longer periods of time? And let yourself receive the question, and notice how the question begins to absorb itself through you. And especially that, if you can bring in that sound, that is literally going to assist you in shifting from your I know and I'm right kind of brain, or I'm wrong kind of brain, to a sense of discovery. So it shifts you actually from your fear brain to your discovery brain. So, I wonder if I would be willing, I'm going to speak it as an I statement so you can try it on. I wonder if I would be willing to grow a nervous system that is designed for enjoying a really good time for longer and longer periods of time. And I'm going to invite you to note, if you want to, make a note in the chat as to how your body begins to organize or reorganize itself when you start to feel into that question, and when you start to feel into asking a question rather than needing to know the answer. Yes, you wouldn't have control. Yes, exactly. Oh. Yes, you might need to adjust your relationship with being surprised. I feel like I'm floating. Oh, wonderful, Darlene. Yeah, wonder, the genuine experience of wonder has a lot of space to it. Felt a flutter of energy up my spine. Ooh, nice. Yeah, some of you may have heard this definition before. It's another definition of integrity, which I love, which is that integrity is love with a spine. So when anything kind of goes up my spine, I kind of feel like I'm lining up with the integrity of myself, with the reality of myself, who I really am at my core. So I love that flutter of energy up my spine. Anyone else, like when you try on that question, am I willing to grow a nervous system that is designed to enjoy really good times for longer and longer periods of time? Expansive. Oh, I thought I looked down and I was like, does it say expansive or expensive? Expansive, yes. Maybe it would be expensive, but it was definitely gonna be expansive. Yeah, space opens up. So I love that, Abby, because when I'm in wonder, here's some of the goodies. So let's try this on as a contrast, because There's one good place where comparing works really well, and that's comparing your body experience. Not comparing with somebody else, but comparing your own experience. So I want you to try on in your body, I know that already. I already know that, or some version of that. You're telling me something I already know. I know that already. And I want you to just feel how the feeling experience of that is. For me, I almost cannot do that without crossing my arms in front of me. I'm seeing Gina being like, I know that I got you. I've already got that figured out. Like some feeling where having the answer is where all the goodies are. Like somehow if you could just have the answers to everything, somehow that would create some sense of security or safety if you just had all the answers. Yeah, I'm right. That's right. I'm right. But notice if you're in the stance of I'm right, I want you to first notice in this kind of like, I've got the answers. I want you to notice how much room there is in your body, how much space there actually is in your body. Everyone, I can see everyone going like searching for space. No space. There's no space here. There's no space here. Not much space. Yes. And I also want you to notice when you're in the like I'm right, or it could be like I have to have all the answers, or my safety is dependent on me having all the answers. I want you to notice how much breath is there. I'm like, it's so great. I've got you guys on gallery view, so I'm watching everyone try it on and be like, no breath, no space. So when there's no breath and no space, you become kind of a two-dimensional being. And you only have certain directions you can go, and you have to keep repeating the same thing over and over again, because that's just the way that you're doing things. Just the thought gave me a stomachache. Yes. So when you're in this, notice how much possibility is there for something new, for some new experience to come along, for a sense of growth. Nobody can come in. That's right. Like, that's it. So when you're in this, there's a part of your nervous system that just keeps going on repeat. So when you keep doing the same things over and over again and trying to have the answers and doing that, you are actually repeating the same circuit in your nervous system over and over and over and over again. And it's kind of the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. But there's actually no space for something new to occur. Now, in a lot of cases, depending on your relationship with the unknown, with, something new, with surprise, that, like opening up to something new can actually be kind of a scary experience. But I want to let you know that you either can be exploring the fear of doing the same damn thing over and over again, expecting a different result, or you can start to lean into the unknown with the possibility that something even better might come along. And that sound, is one of the places where you begin to make a bridge from your fear brain to the part of your brain that opens to discovery, and in a way that's absolutely friendly. So take your I'm right stance, or or I know this already kind of stance. I'm going to stand up because I find it really hard to do this sitting down. And I want you to just add a kind of like, And it's not a, I know that already. That's not it. I want you to find a tone, a hum that feels really good to your body. And sometimes you may want to actually place your hands somewhere, like your sternum is a great place because it vibrates like, and just let yourself a few times and begin to notice what happens in your body. And I'm going to give you some scientific information about this momentarily, but I want you to feel it first. And this is, you may repeat my tone. I always say that sometimes it's imitation before innovation. So sometimes you try something on that somebody else is doing and see, and then you refine it for yourself. But for me, when I start to even move into that sound, the tone of wonder, I immediately my body begins to move itself. And I'm looking at almost everyone, and almost everyone has got at least a little bit of movement going, except for the people that don't have their pictures up. I can't see you, but I want you to notice, like, do you notice what, and don't take my word for any of this, okay? So I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I want you to check it out. It's like, when you do that, can you begin to feel a little more space inside you? Got some thumbs up, excellent. And for me, if I really let myself go for it, I almost cannot sit still. Like I immediately want to participate with the There's a quality of movement that takes me out of that two-dimensional, I know that already, and into a kind of three or multi-dimensional experience of possibility. And no, I want you to notice that I haven't even added any words yet. All I've done is add a sound. And then the sound begins to stimulate the movement. And notice that it's really impossible to if you're not breathing. Yeah, like your body was melting. I know. It's like an immediate, like it's for me, it's one of the, if I first and then add a fear melter, like melting my freeze. If I add the first, I start to melt. Because my body starts to participate with it. So it doesn't actually matter what you choose first. But can you just give me kind of a thumbs up? Everyone feel a little bit more space in their body? Yeah. I saw that. That's cool. And when you have more space in your body, you actually are changing your physiology. So in the world of something called polyvagal theory, you have three primary areas of your nervous system. You have what's called your ventral vagal, which is your discovery brain. You're open to possibility. It's sort of calm, alert, open to learning. You have the one that's a little bit further, more prehistoric than that, which is your sympathetic nervous system, which has a kind of like, I know that already. It has a little bit of fight to it, has a little to it. And then you have your dorsal vagal, which is more like kind of inactive, disconnected. But in every case, no matter where you are in your autonomic nervous system, if you can find the sound of wonder, you begin to shift yourself up into your most evolved part of your brain, which is your ventral vagal, which is the part of your brain that opens to new possibility, part of your brain where new things can happen. And it's the part of your brain that can create genuine, sustainable change, and also the part of your brain that supports your overall well-being. Your ventral vagal brain fuels itself with your aliveness, with a sense of discovery, with a sense of possibility. So if you forget everything I talk about tonight, but you remember the you're golden. If you just add that to everything, you're all good. I'm not going to leave it at there, but I want to let you know, like, that alone, it's in the world of polyvagal theory, they call it a mid-tonal, it's like a mid-tonal sound. And that particular sound assists you in shifting from the oh, puppy, from the sorry, squirrel, from the more prehistoric parts of your dinosaur brain up into your discovery brain. So I want to actually open up anyone that wants to unmute themselves and describe what they notice. I would love to hear.
So I was noticing something new with my solar plexus has been compacted most of my life from that freeze that doesn't release, right? So as I've been doing fear melters, it's been opening, and a new sensation that I had was I could feel the in my mid back. Both my lats have been locked historically, so that was really surprising to feel that much melting there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate hearing that. That's awesome.
Definitely could, you know, when I was right, I was holding my breath, and I could feel, you know, my pelvis was all tight, and things loosened up when I wasn't so right. You know, I could feel more breath and, you know, look at the mountains, and, you know.
Wow.
And I love surprises. I just hadn't informed my lower brains of this.
Yeah, thanks, Claudia. That's great. Anyone else have an experience they'd like to share?
I use that toning, that mid-tonal sound, the hum, when I get scared, like presenting, and I can feel that little buzz going through me and just dropping into as deep as I can go. Then I'm feeling that vibration through my bones. And that's always, it gives me a giggle as well.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things I love so much about just the tone is that if you were working with me, there's a few people on here that I work with. You've heard me say probably a million times, physiology first. In order to create any kind of shift or change, you have to change your physiology first. You have to alter where you're coming from in your body to then open up to possibilities that become sustainable. Because otherwise you're reacting from your fear brain, from that kind of adrenalized. So everyone try on like your particular fear way of doing fear. Like, is it sort of like, do you do a freeze? You know, do you go stupid? It's not, you don't actually go stupid, but like, you kind of like pass out and disconnect. Do you like want to be like, see ya, I'm out of here? Do you want to like, you know, get out? You want to flee? Do you fight? Any fighters in the crowd?
I'm sure
Yes.
it is.
Yes. So everyone, let's just try this on too, because I want you to really get the feeling experience of changing your physiology. So go ahead and in your body, I want you to try on your most familiar fear response. I can see some of you doing it just in thinking, what's my most familiar fear response? I don't know what that is. It's freeze. If you're doing like, what's my most familiar fear response? It's probably freeze, faint. And then without doing anything else, well, let's just hang out here for a second because you got to get a little adrenaline going. And you can feel what happens when you get your adrenaline going. Usually one of the things that happens for me is I start to make up a whole bunch of stories why I should feel scared. But all I want you to do from your most familiar fear response is to just, just begin to choose to wonder. You're making the choice to wonder over the choice to defend. Choosing to wonder over your choice to defend. And I want you to notice what happens to your fear response when you start to For me, it's really, really challenging to hang on to. Okay. And I can see most of you even, that there's at least a little bit of movement that starts. And I want you to keep going because now we're gonna add some words. So one of the things that I love is that wonder, genuine wonder, is the intersection of your physical self, your mass self, your incarnate, the meat of you, your energy self, like your aliveness, your emotions, and also your consciousness, so the space of you. Wonder is where all of those things intersect. So it changes your body, but we also want to use the intellect. So we've got intellect, body intelligence, intuition, awareness. It's also the intersection of all those. So, I wonder. And we're just going to add those two words to start with. I wonder. I wonder. And just adding those two words also, like I notice my eyes, my visual field gets wider. And I start to actually like, my hands kind of start to move out. I get a little bit more three-dimensional. And for me, I get a little more spirally. Does anyone notice that you start to move in a little bit more of your spiral action? I see some of you doing it, so see if you can hold still and wonder. It's really, really almost impossible. I wonder. I wonder. Now I'm going to add more, but I want you to know that if you forget everything else from tonight, you don't add any more words, but you add the sound and I wonder, you have already interrupted your patterns, any kind of defensive patterns, and you've started to generate a part of your nervous system that supports your well-being. When you're defending, what you're doing is accentuating the part of your nervous system that keeps you scared. When you begin to wonder, and adrenaline is a good thing if you need it, but if you're using it 99% of the time for energy, it has a cost. It has a cost to your physiology, to your body, and your well-being. But wonder literally moves you into a place where you have more responsibility for your well-being. And you've shifted from that place of defensiveness using adrenaline to a part of your nervous system that supports discovery and aliveness as a source of fuel. It's a healthcare choice. It's not only a life like a life transformation choice. It's literally a healthcare choice. So your choice to wonder in the middle of the, or the, your choice to wonder, the I wonder, is going to give you enough of a pattern interrupt to move from all of that to a place that supports your well-being. And it begins to move you up the chain in your autonomic nervous system, up into that ventral vagal place. Even if you're having a really, really strong emotion. So I've seen this work with people who are having major trauma responses. And if we just add we add a little space of curiosity and wonder, it gives all of that energy that sometimes can feel really overwhelming. It gives it all much more space to move in. So, I wonder. Now I'm going to add a couple of words that there are a few of my favorites. Like I have what I call instant gratification wonder questions that like create immediate changes. I like instant gratification. Anyone else out there like instant gratification? Yes. You're like, I don't want to wait 2 months for this to work. I want it to work right now. So we have instant gratification questions. We have daily wonder questions, which is like a question that I might be able to ask at the beginning of the day to kind of sculpt the energetics of my day. And then I have what I call like long game questions or quantum questions that I will be asking for the rest of my life. But I'm going to give you a couple of my instant gratification ones, and I want to have you try them on, okay? So I want you to find some space around you. I just had to like pull my pants up and adjust my shirt because, got to get ready for this. So here's how I want to have you do it. I want you to take on the posture of your latest upset, like an argument you had with your coworker, with a parent, with your partner, someone cut you off in traffic, like your latest upset. Or like your righteousness. You could take on a righteousness posture. I want you to just take on whatever your most recent upset posture is. Good job, Abby. And first of all, just enjoy yourself for a moment. Sometimes being right and being righteous and being upset is just really satisfying. So don't try and change it too soon. You got to really let yourself go for it. Have a little fun with being righteous and upset. And then I want you to begin to, So from your place of defending, you have the capacity to choose. You can choose to continue to defend, which in my world is still completely lovable. It's just going to give you a predictable result. Or you can choose to wonder. It's your choice. In this case, just for shits and giggles, I would really like for you to choose to wonder, just to try this on as a possibility. So, I wonder. And first of all, just stepping into that, I want you to notice if you have maintained your defensive posture. Most of you look like you've already lost it. As hard as you try, it's really hard to keep it up when you're wondering. So now I'm going to add some words like, I wonder what else is possible. So try that on. In the midst of this upset, I wonder what else is possible. And you might imagine even the person that you have the upset with, if there's a person, you could even like, just notice I was really in it. And wow, I wonder what else is possible. And the sound is actually really as important as the words. So that alone begins to open space for something new to happen. And can you feel how that feels a little bit better in your body? Do you feel a little more alive and awake and calm, like calm alert? Calm alert and kind of maybe even a little bit creative? Those three signals, calm, alert, and creative, are signs and symptoms that you're in your ventral vagal system. You're in the most evolved part of your nervous system. If there are no possibilities but what you're doing, you're probably down in your sympathetic nervous system. But when you, what else is possible? You can start to feel there's something else that literally, it's like you're actually asking your body, what else is possible in my physiology besides this defensive posture? And just that might be a good one. That's a good one for me because I kind of like being right, truth be told. And so like when I can, I wonder what else is possible. Or I feel like I keep getting the same result, I might back up a little bit and what else is possible? So there's one. So now we're going to try on something else. So give yourself a little refreshment break. Imagine kind of like shaking that one off. And we're going to try on another wonder question. I'm going to give you three of my favorites. Three of my favorite instant gratification ones. So we got, what else is possible? I got to read this from, is it Jana or Jana? Or something else? Jana?
Yeah, Jana, yeah.
My sister, who's actually sitting in the room with me, her name is Jana. So I saw your name and I was like, I wonder how she pronounces her name.
Yeah, it's both. It's originally like Jana, but I grew up in the South, so everybody calls me, hey, Jana. Jana.
Great.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, I was just reading. At first I thought I was trying to fake myself out, but you can't really fake it. If you start to wonder, your physiology is going to take over. So physiology first, and your physiology will take over even if you're really, really, really trying to hold on to it. If you genuinely start to wonder and something else is going to happen. Something new is going to begin to arise. So here's another question. So let's take on another defensive posture. It could be like, let's see. One of my favorites is like being politely interested. Oh, you already have some. Everyone already has theirs. I don't even have to give you a suggestion. So I want you to like, I wonder what's right here to be loved. Jana's like, yeah, right. I wonder what's here to be loved. I wonder what's right here to be loved. So notice that first of all, that quality of the wondering doesn't make what you're doing wrong. It allows it to be how it is and begins to make space around it. So, and then if you are asking what's here to be loved, it's usually exactly what you were just doing. So am I willing to love myself for defending myself? Am I willing to love myself for being righteous? Am I willing to love myself for right now going stupid? Since that's what just happened. Like, I wonder what's right here to be loved. So you are using a couple of things that immediately change your physiology. You are using presencing because you're actually presencing what's going on. You're not trying to argue with it. It's like, this is what's happening. You're using a quality of appreciation, like, what's here to be loved? I'm actually willing to add some loving attention to what's going on to it. And we're adding wonder, a sense of possibility and curiosity. Those three things, presence, curiosity, and appreciation, any one of those, in my opinion, wonder is one of the best, is going to change your life from here on out. Like, I wonder what's here to be loved. And it also makes the assumption that whatever is here is actually lovable. It's an action of inclusion. And in the wonder space, all of you probably had some space, like, I wonder. In the wonder space, there's lots of room to include aspects of yourself that in the past you may have been trying to get rid of. So, I want you to find one of your least favorite personas, one of your most troublesome personas. And, for most of you, I think you've had some experience with personas, but personas are just ways that you've organized yourself to get along. Bitchy head cheerleader. That's great. Okay, anyone else have any persona suggestions in case someone else can't find a persona? That's a good one. I wasn't even a cheerleader, but I like that one a lot. I can loan any of you a few personas if you can't find one yourself. Little girl, yeah, that's a good one. Do it right, oh, definitely. I have a righteous, like, bitchy persona for sure. Pissed off dad, yeah, Brian, good. So what I want you to try on is, like, in that, like, what's here to be loved, I want you to see, like, I wonder how I could make space to love this persona. I wonder how I can make space to love this persona. What's here to be loved? And if that persona is here, I wonder how I can make space to love this persona. Another one I really, really like relative to personas is, I wonder how this persona wants to be loved. That's a good one, if I do say so myself. Because all personas are here to get attention, and genuinely, and what's the word I'm looking for? Generally, that's the word I'm going for. Personas want loving attention. If you don't give them attention, have you ever seen, like, a little kid at a amusement park that's like, mommy, 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 and they're like pulling on your shirt the whole time? And if you just turn towards them and say, honey, what do you really want? Then the kid's like, I just want a hug, or I want you to pick me up. But if you never give them attention, they're just kind of always pulling at your shirt strings. So that's like a persona. If you never give them attention, they're just going to always be there, like, poking at you and pulling at you. So when you turn towards them and you say, I wonder how I can make space to love this persona, or I wonder how this persona wants to be loved. Both the wonder space and the addition of love is going to change your physiology to feel better. And that persona is likely not going to be getting your attention quite so strong. As soon as you turn towards and give them your attention, you have included them in the wholeness of you. And that's really what they're going for. As long as you're trying to get them to go away, they're going to keep pulling at you. So wonder is a great way to make space to love and appreciate those personas. I wonder how this persona wants to be loved. Or I wonder how I could make space to include this persona. And the kind of instant gratification question is, I wonder what's here to be loved. And, oh, you guys are all so sweet. I'm, like, just noticing some faces softening. So we've got 2 so far. I wonder what else is possible. I wonder what's here to be loved. And the other one I'm going to add right now is, I wonder how I could bring this into creative expression. I wonder if I could bring my right now experience into some kind of creative expression. And sometimes that's purely a sound, or it might be a little tantrum, or whatever it is that you are one, you're making space for wonder. You're presencing, you're saying, this is what's happening right now. You're not denying it, you're not arguing with it, you're making space for it. And you're also beginning to bring in your creative energy. So you're bringing your experience into creative expression, which is going to support your whole nervous system in balancing out. Now, have you guys have all heard the word enthusiasm, probably, right? So the breakdown of enthusiasm, like the ethos, is like the breath of God, the breath of, it's like when you bring creativity to something, or you bring something into creative expression, it's like you're bringing your essential self, your core self into that experience, and it immediately changes it. It's like adding a little elixir that changes the flavor of everything. When you bring wonder to something, you change the flavor of it. And then when you can bring wonder and love to something, whew, that adds another flavor. When you bring wonder, love, and creativity to something, you have like the best, juiciest bouquet possible, and you've immediately shifted your physiology, because all of you are essentially completely lovable, no questions asked. There's nothing about any of you that I wouldn't be able to love. Sometimes other people can love it easier than I can love it myself. And the third thing is you're all essentially creative. So you've brought in 3 of your most essential qualities to something. And in that, you line up with your integrity, with the who that you really are. You are creative. You are full of possibility, and you are completely lovable. So you've used the wonder to then line yourself up with the core of who you really are. And in that, your physiology changes, because it's very relaxing and calming, and it's deeply supportive of your well-being to be who you really are. It's costly to try and be something else. But when you line up with who you really are and you make space for that, especially through for me, the ongoing practice of wonder, you immediately begin to remind yourself of who you already are. Now, some of you know that I teach whole courses on wonder, so I could go on about this for about the next 4.5 hours without stopping or longer. So I'm going to just take a pause there, because I think we've shared some good experiences and good information. I want to just see if anyone has any questions or experiences. You don't have to, could be some new discovery. Doesn't have to be a question.
I have a quick question. I'm really interested in polyvagal theory, and I keep hearing people talk about it. And I know there's lots of sources on it, but do you have like a good intro source, or one that's maybe not too layered to start with?
I do. Hold on. I got my phone right here, and because I know I want to give you the right number. It's called Befriending Your Nervous System.
Thank you.
And it is written by, hold on one moment, please. Deb Dana. Debdana.
Awesome.
And what I love about it is that it completely supports all the Hendricks tools and the sense of wonder and integrity. And it just gives you a little bit more of the science. I'm a physiologist by education. So I love having the experience, and then I get the evidence, the scientific evidence after. But I kind of like having both. Anyone else have an experience or a question, something they want to speak into? Does everyone feel just a little bit different than when they got on the phone tonight or on the call tonight? It works, right? I feel better.
Well, some years ago I did some mirror work and I gave myself love for different shaming episodes in my life or patterns. But I can feel like there's like that little resistance thing that I'm not, so I love this idea of opening up to like loving, especially parts that want attention. But, whatever it is, I guess maybe different personas need love. Like I dealt with some, shameful namings in my life and shame things that other people shame me for, but there's other things. So there's more personas to be curious about, to see what they want. It felt very good to give it love. It was like, yeah, the persona that I was using as an example. Yeah.
One of the things I love, thanks Claudia, is that when I ask the persona how they want to be loved, that's different than assuming I know how they want to be loved. So it's actually really loving to ask them how they want to be loved. So I have a persona that likes to sit in the back of the closet because she feels so ashamed of things. And she just wants, like when I asked her what she want, like how she wanted to be loved, she just wanted me to sit on the outside of the closet and like, play some music. Like she didn't want me to bring her out of the closet. She didn't want me to put anything in the closet. She just wanted me to know I was there. That's it.
That presence that opens things up.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate this work.
Thank you. Yeah, wonder for me has been, I call myself a game changer on my website and my business cards, and wonder has been a game changer for me. One, because I have always been really inquisitive and I shut it down because it was annoying for people. And so to reincarnate that in myself and then be able to share it with people is to share the power of it is a life changer for me. So I want to appreciate each one of you that made the choice to use your time and energy and attention to be here right now, because you have offered me a huge gift in allowing me to share something that I know works, both as an experiential thing, and I know it works in the scientific realm. So it's, I love all the levels of it, and I just want to encourage you to practice. So just like everything else, you build a new nervous system by practicing. So if all you remember is to practice the hum a lot, something's going to change. And if you feel like you would like any additional information about this, please feel welcome to contact me at my email, which I see Michele put on there. You're also welcome to contact me on Facebook. I'm happy to communicate and share all that I know and a lot that I probably am still learning about wonder as I learn it. So thank you so much for using your time and attention this way. I feel very fortunate and blessed.
Thank you so much, Audrey. That was absolutely beautiful. If everyone wants to unmute and say goodbye, I'd love to hear all your voices. Yes.
Thank you so much, Audrey. This was amazing.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
What's your